How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be reacting to Joshua Fluke's new video, The 7 Sinful Words of the Industry, Programmer Elitism. I don't normally react to videos, but since this is specific to programmers, and I'm sort of a programmer lifer, I thought I'd react, give my opinion, and maybe it'll help somebody out there. Once again, my name is Matt, watching Code Tech tutorials, and I just want to say off the bat that I like Josh, I got no problems with him, but I just want to be honest and just share a point of view that might be slightly missed in this video. So here we go. Let's just watch. I'll pause it a few times.
Alright, so this is what I want you guys to do. I want you to imagine saying the 7 sinful words in the world of tech. And those 7 words are, I don't want to work at Google. I don't want to work at Google. Doesn't want to work at Google.
Hold on, the Reddit programmer. Look at that overflow, Stack Overflow rep can reverse a linked list blind. Silver in League of Legends. That's very specific. It's hilarious.
Doesn't want to work at Google. Excuse me? And watch what happens. Just say it. I don't want to work at Google. Wait till Reddit finds out. CS career questions, here I come.
Alright, first of all, I'm going to say I'm not a big fan of CS career questions. I've looked at it some and it's been helpful in some points, but I don't subscribe to that Reddit thread anymore, or Reddit, whatever, subreddit. Because, yeah, you get some good info, but you got to be careful there. As with anywhere, you know, that's kind of in general on the internet. Owns a Tesla, charges a Starbucks, caffeine-only diet, puts Zoom meetings on speaker. Why the heck do people do that publicly? I don't think, you know, I've only seen one person ever do that, so I think most people are smart enough to... Yeah, I think most people are smart enough to wear headphones when they're on a meeting. It's only the person that's like their first time on whatever that they don't use headphones. And also, I think this is a bit unrealistic too. I don't think most programmers or people really care where you want to work, to be honest. I've never really heard anyone be too concerned. Ever. Until here. This is the first time I've heard someone
I've
be
been working
concerned.
on that ticket for at least...
Extremely busy remote developer. Completes 2 tickets per month. Last saw sunlight 94 days ago. Currently installing Valorant Grubhub Elite member.
2 days now, but I'm waiting on a few blockers from QA. I'll have them in probably by the end of the day. I've been really focused lately
It's funny.
on getting these tickets done. Did you see that Reddit update? If you don't want to work at Google, why would...
The dog. The dog, it was perfect timing. Look at this.
Done. Did you see that Reddit update?
He's like, huh? Update?
If you don't want to work at Google, why would you even learn to code? It's not like there are other companies that exist. Personally, I am team chai. I am ethically and organically sourced.
The UI UX guy, no further information needed.
I am ethically and organically sourced. I am ethically and organically sourced. Excuse me.
So weird. I knew a few guys like this when I was in computer science. They were strictly all about the UI UX, and I don't know, they weren't all that passionate about coding, and I didn't understand why they were in computer science really, but whatever, doesn't matter.
It appears there is a new Reddit post of someone who doesn't want to work at Google. Noob developer. He must drink the chai. At other companies, The current theme is Kool-Aid. You see, if you say those words,
This is great so far. I love the skit format of these.
you're gonna trigger people no matter what. If you say that you don't want to work at a fan company and you're in tech, you're basically a loser.
This is inaccurate. Right off the bat. Like I said earlier, not everybody wants to work at those. I really don't know a whole lot of people that do say they want to work at one of those companies, honestly. Most of them aren't too concerned.
Basically a nobody, and this boils down to...
And I will say, you know, this is not entirely on topic, but, and I'm not trying to brag, but I've had several instances where I've had opportunities to interview for Google and a couple other big companies, Amazon, and I feigned interest when they first talked to me, but I wasn't interested, and I don't honestly know why, other than I didn't feel like traveling. So I think that's pretty common, actually. I think it's usually only the people that, you know, they just want the best job possible and don't really have any interest in starting their own thing. Usually they want, you know, they go for one of these companies because they have the best package, and that's fine. Yeah.
To elitism and the culture of engineering.
It doesn't mean you're an elitist if you want to work in one of these companies. All it means is other people have recognized your skill, and that's something. You know, people like having their skill recognized, and it's just like a merit badge. It doesn't hurt. It's cool. It generally means they're pretty good at coding or engineering. It's what's wrong with that? But yeah, you don't have to have it. You could just show a project that says the same thing, and it's about the same. Like I don't have any grand experience other than I honestly don't know why some of these big companies contact me sometimes, and I'm often surprised, but also I don't know. Like I don't know what to make of that really.
And in software, the quality of dev you are does not have to do with where you work.
Yeah, right. I'm not being sarcastic. That's just inherently true.
A lot of people idolize the fan companies and they idolize the perks and the pay and all that stuff, but that is not everyone's dream.
Yeah, we know.
And for people to say, if that's not your dream, you're not a real developer.
Well, no one should be saying that. If that's not your dream, you're not a real developer. That's I've never heard anybody say that. I don't think that's a thing.
There are good devs at Google and there are bad devs at Google. There are good devs at Netflix. There are bad devs at Netflix.
Can confirm. I have seen some terrible devs at places I've worked, and I could not understand how they worked there, but I don't know. They seem to get by okay. And also, that was just my opinion. I didn't like some of them. I didn't ever code with. I just had the impression that they weren't the greatest dev, but I could have been wrong. I don't know.
Definition of being a good dev is relative to being able to provide value to the product that you're working on and having the flexibility to solve problems related to it. That is what makes you a good dev. And I know that's going to trigger a bunch of people.
I don't think that's going to trigger a bunch of people, other than they're just going to be like, oh, we know.
That me saying the quality of dev you are doesn't have to do with where you work. Because they've idolized this idea that where you work defines who you are. That your job title defines who you are.
It is true that sometimes your job title does define who you are, and it's not necessarily anything wrong with that. But yeah, that's not how it really is in general.
And people start identifying with their job title or their degree, and they use it to elevate themselves above other people.
Yeah, that's how you get prestigious positions. You have a really good CV or a prestigious CV. You know, that's what draws interest to you.
One of the worst things about the industry.
It doesn't mean you're better than anybody. It just means you have some experience and some proof that you're at least half decent. That's all it really means. It doesn't mean you're better than anybody. Anybody can do that. Anybody can build up their history through, you know, repetition and being consistent. Like even some random person watching this that thinks I'll never make it, I guarantee you can if you just stay consistent, keep working on your skills day to day. I did not start programming until I was 31 years old, and I don't know, it was fine. I didn't start playing guitar and music till I was 20, and I thought that was late too. And you know, it was like a few years later, people were just like, "Whoa, have you played since you were a kid?" And I'm like, and no, it's just because I was dedicated. So it's more about dedication than it is about anything else.
One of the worst things about software and programming in general is that people use the company that they work for as like, oh, look at me, I'm here, you know? But like, not everyone wants to work there. Not everyone wants to relocate. Not everyone is passionate about the products at these places. Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters.
Actually, I think people are passionate about the products at these places because, okay, we're at 3:59. I'll go back, but maybe Josh doesn't realize that he's passionate about it because all of us use Google every day, pretty much. Where is it? He's Google search in the front of this, in the first of the part of this. Anyway, my point is, we need these services and we need good people working on them. Otherwise, we wouldn't use the services. So in a way, we're all kind of passionate about these.
What really matters is being passionate about what you're doing and living a life that you're comfortable with. I see so many people creating their life around their job rather than creating the job around their life.
Okay. Whatever works for you. It doesn't matter.
They relocate, they do everything, they're like, oh, I'm looking to move here because all the jobs are there.
Yeah, I don't think you should move for a job, and I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter.
That's not the way it should be. You should.
What do you mean that's not the way it should be? It doesn't matter. Your opinion on this doesn't matter. Every individual person can make their own decision on this.
Move somewhere and then say,
stop talking.
All right,
Move on. Next point.
Because you only get to live one time, and you.
We all know that we only get one life. Well, actually, we don't all know. Some people think they get multiple lives. Oddly enough, I've heard that.
Prioritize your life over your job. There are good devs, Google quality devs, Netflix quality devs, Facebook quality devs at other places besides FANG companies. But in the field of software, because they work there, they're automatically up here and they just have this prestige about them. But not every.
Yeah, well, I guess I'd just be repeating myself at this point. But yeah, I already kind of covered that.
That choice. Not everyone wants that, and that's what's really difficult for people to understand. But what really matters is if you're passionate about your job. Do you care about what you're building, or you just want the prestige of being part of the company?
That's actually a good point. Are you passionate about what you're building, or do you just want the prestige of being there or whatever? That's a bit of a tricky one because I think for a lot of people it's both. Like, yeah, they want to build up their resume so they can keep getting better jobs and better recognition and stuff. You know, people like being recognized. Everyone does. Heck, that's probably why Josh does YouTube to some extent, is for the recognition of, you know, it's great videos.
For me, I never really felt like I needed to prove something to anyone. All I cared about was wanting to be able to wake up and have some control over what I was doing with my life.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to prove anything to anyone if you don't want to. And you do have control. Everybody has control of their life, whether they realize it or not. Sometimes it's brutal. Sometimes you might be stuck in some sort of scenario where someone else is trying to control you or something, but you still have choices. You can fight. You can resist. It's all your call.
I've always been a big picture type of person. I need to know that what I'm making or what I'm a part of is something at the end of the day that I'm passionate about. Would I sit here and make this on my own time? Probably not. Really, honestly, I just can't bring myself to care about it. In the interview, I will tell you that I care about it. In the interview, I will say, yes, 100% I am passionate about what you're building here, mainly because I'm passionate about paying my bills.
Okay, that's sort of a red flag in an interview then. Unfortunately. Because, let's see, how do I explain this? I've been considering posting a few openings for something I'm working on, and I've done interviews with people before and interviewed people, and it's always very obvious when someone says they're all in and they love it just because they want the job and they want to get you're accepted for this position. It's always pretty obvious. Not at first, but after you've been around the block a little, it becomes pretty obvious because, yeah, it just shows. Like the person who says they're passionate, they'll show up and not really care. They'll pretend to care when you're around, but as soon as you're not around, they don't really care. And it's like they're just only trying to impress the boss to keep the job. But that's not what the boss wants. And you have to understand that usually when you get hired for something, it's for the results, right? And if you're passionate about it, that's even better because then you're someone they can talk to about it, and you guys can have, you can build up a relationship often around the product you're working on, and make friends that way or whatever. This is a tricky one to talk about, but yeah, I think I'll leave it at that.
Mainly because I'm passionate about not being homeless. I get so much shit for not wanting to work at any of these companies, for not wanting to work as a software developer.
I was not aware of that. I've heard some people complain, and like I even said in one of my videos that like one of the responses from earlier or whatever, I said, what did I say? I said something like, sure, yeah, I would like Josh's channel to be about code, but I would like all channels to be about code because that's just what I'm interested in. I don't care. I like his channel the way it is though. It's fine. This is good. This is good content.
It's a cool skill to have. It's a cool tool, but it's not what I'm passionate about. The actual act of coding. For me, it's always been about what am I building? Where's this going to take me?
I think for a lot of people it's that way. Actually, that's probably pretty common. And it's like, yeah, you want to be part of something bigger than yourself. You want to be able to contribute, and often being able to contribute is, yeah, you got to be better than the average person because you're building something special and need some special attention, sort of thing, something like that.
What's the big picture here? When I say things like, I don't want to work at a FAANG company, I don't want to live in Silicon Valley, I don't want to live in New York City, I don't care about what these people are making, I don't care about the prestige of it on my resume.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's fine.
That is just mind-blowing to people.
Is it? It's not mind-blowing to me. I don't know. It seems, it's fine. You don't have to care about that stuff.
You just must be too dumb. That's the real thing. You're just not a real dev. You are just too dumb.
If someone's saying that, they probably don't understand something. I don't know. They might be missing something, but I don't think that. I don't think most people think that.
And for whatever reason, I'm the only YouTuber that gets a bunch of crap for it.
I doubt you're the only YouTuber that gets a bunch of crap for it.
I don't know if you guys watch Kit Boga, but he was a software developer, and he quit his job to talk to scammers all day as an old lady.
All right, let's just say that, okay, that's fine. Kit Boga doesn't have to be a software dev. And Kit Boga, what he does is a great service to everyone. And it's hilarious to watch. Well, why would you expect anyone to give him crap for that? Are you just saying that because you think you get a lot of crap for that? I don't know. I might be missing something, but I've never heard of anyone giving Joshua Fluke crap for not being a dev. I've heard people mention that he doesn't do it anymore, but that's not giving him crap. That's just saying, hey, he doesn't do it anymore yet. That's not giving someone crap. Someone says to me that you don't code as much as you used to, I wouldn't say, stop giving me crap. I would just, I don't know, take it for what it is. I would say, yeah, I've been a little busy with other things, but I still like coding, That's, I'm not sure what the point here is, but let's continue.
And everybody loves it. I don't know if you guys know.
Okay, yeah, everybody loves Kit Boga because he's freaking hilarious. What he does it at a masterful level, and it's great. Why would that ever be a problem? Not a very good example.
Cody Ko, but he was a software
Don't know who Cody Ko is.
developer, and he quit his job to do YouTube to make comedy videos, commentary videos, roasting cringe videos.
I have no idea who that guy is, so.
I quit my job as a programmer, and I say, this is the reality of it, and it's kind of funny, it's kind of harsh, and you should be aware.
That's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
Everyone's like, good dev, Josh?
You're always going to get some flack. There's always going to be people that don't like what you do, or, you know, to some extent, you got to have some critics. If there were no critics, that's a problem too. It's like the 100% positive feedback flaw. If you see something that has 100% positive reviews, you know that something's wrong with it, because it's like all their friends or some bots or whatever giving it all 100%. Yeah, not everybody's going to agree, and there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't mean they're right either, so don't take it personally.
You're not a real programmer. You just couldn't cut it. You couldn't maintain a job. You couldn't hold a job.
All right, let's be straight about something here. Programming is actually quite hard, especially when you get into an industry that demands somewhat of perfection and that sort of thing, and things done quickly. It's hard. It's actually really hard. One of the first jobs I had after I graduated was very stressful to me because of the level of difficulty. I could walk through all the code, I could explain everything. It's probably why I got the job, honestly, is just because I seemed to understand everything about what was going on when I was walking through code. But when it came down to like implementing new features, it was really hard. I had to go so many levels deep, and there were quite a few times where I was pretty sure I was going to get fired because I couldn't get stuff done as quickly as I wanted to and that they wanted me to. But I didn't. I was just open and honest with everybody, and I didn't really live up to their expectations, we'll say. But I was still able to provide value, and some of that value I think was helping management understand better expectations for new devs coming in, because there was like this expectation that I was going to be like a wizard and fix everything and make everything better very quickly, and that just wasn't reasonable for like such a large code base. So as I was doing things, I had to ask a lot of questions. I had to step back and say, oh wait, a big part of it was I was so new to the organization that I didn't want to do things that were like against their norm or something like that. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically I had a bit of, anytime I was going to implement something new, I was always hesitating, like, is this what, etc., etc., is this what whoever wants, is this what they expect? And that would slow me down a lot. But we'll just say it's hard. Programming is pretty hard. It can be easy. It probably gets easier the more experience you get, but it hasn't really happened for me yet. It's still hard, and I still enjoy it. I like really difficult things, though. I like being challenged.
And they just give me so much crap. But the reality is...
Okay, let them give you crap. That's fine. Take the good from the crap you can and discard the rest. No big deal.
I was never passionate about it. If you don't work at one of those companies, it's fine. I'd much rather work at a no-name mom and pop shop building some little tiny thing that I can be a part of than a huge corporation for the prestige of it on my resume.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. And sometimes building something new for some small company is just as prestigious. There's nothing wrong with that.
Here's the thing with my personality type is that I don't want to lead a corporation. I don't want to make a corporation. I don't want to lead all these people. But I also don't want to be led by anybody.
Okay, that's fine. I don't understand the problem. Yeah. So wait a minute though. That inherently, I don't know, just trying to unpack that a little bit. Is that like saying you only want to work alone? You don't want to work for people or by people or what? I'm not sure. That's just sort of anti-team environment. I don't know. I don't know how to really. I don't know if he's just saying that to get a reaction or what. But being a solo dev is hard. But given that he's making YouTube videos for thousands and thousands of people, I would say that's not entirely true. There's some aspect of Josh wanting to lead. I think a lot of people could probably see that. And that's one of the things with leaders. Some leaders don't want to be leaders, and maybe Josh is that sort of guy. So, I don't know, it's sort of interesting.
Essentially just a rogue agent. And I'm not saying that other people should be like me. I'm just saying that you should think for yourself and here's some information about entrepreneurship, and here's some information about corporate.
Yeah, that's cool. I think everyone appreciates all this info.
Consider both sides before crossing the road. And I don't think that you should let the elitism kind of get to you. Pick a job that you like and ignore everything else.
Don't ignore everything else. There's no you got to take in things. You can't just ignore everything.
But for whatever reason,
some of it, you have to discard a lot of it because it doesn't work for you, or it's wrong or whatever. But you should not ignore everything.
Just saying, I don't want to work at Google just X's you off the list. I have nothing against Google. I have nothing against Netflix. I have nothing.
Obviously, I mean, you use Google. You probably use Netflix too, but even in this video, you used Google. Of course, you have nothing against Google. If you did, that'd be weird.
Against Facebook, I don't have anything against that, right? I just don't really care about the products that they're building. But my passion.
Yeah, you do. You Googled earlier in the video. You care about the products they're building.
Have never really been coding, and I've said this a few times, and it's not to offend anybody. It's just to say that I'm not passionate about it, and that's fine.
Yeah, that is fine. You don't have to be passionate about it. It doesn't matter.
I just feel like people idolize these companies.
Oh, they do. They do. And there's a reason. Everybody always, not everybody, a lot of people always idolize the top tier. Like everybody, I keep saying everybody, but I don't mean everybody when I say everybody. I mean a lot of people when I say everybody. A lot of people will always idolize the top of whatever, the number one player in any game, any sport, any band, any song. Yeah, that's just how it works. The top tier stuff is, it's something that's obvious to strive for when you're new. It's like, okay, I'm new. How do I actually improve my skills? Well, these guys are obviously really good, and let's aim for that. Boom. So that's all it really is.
Without really thinking about, am I passionate about going in there 12 hours a day and building some product that I can say I made a page of? Like, do you want those kudos? Do you want those credits? For me, I never needed that pat on the back.
Okay.
I never felt the need to be part of something bigger than myself. I'd rather create something.
Wait, I thought you said wait. I'm just hearing some contradictions. Don't feel a need to be part of something bigger than yourself. Okay, well, let's just move on. I'm not gonna.
Bigger than myself, and then own that thing and do that. Anyways, I just think that people end up identifying with their degree and their job title so much.
I don't know if I want to comment on that, but okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't understand the problem here. I'm not entirely sure what the point of this is, other than to call something out that isn't how it is. I'm a little bit confused by this whole thing, but let's continue.
That they forget who they are as a person, and they forget what they really wanted to do before they gave up in life. Anyways, yeah.
Wait a second. Okay, this is why people get mad at you. People don't get mad at you for hardly any of the other stuff you said, but just now you said
what they really wanted to do before they did that pat on the back. I never felt the need to be part of something bigger than myself. I'd rather create something that's bigger than myself and then own that thing and do that. Anyways, I just think that people end up identifying with their degree and their job title so much that they forget who they are as a person, and they forget what they really wanted to do before they gave up in life.
That right there. That's probably why people get mad and rage at Joshua Fluke. Sure, he's making a video and he's sort of making his point, but it was just like sort of a passive aggressive attack at like anybody who strives to be in one of these big companies has given up on life, which is a ridiculous statement if you think about it. It's like, why wouldn't you edit that out? Honestly, that's a pretty abysmal thing to say if you mean that. And I know I'll probably get flack for that or whatever, but it even contradicts the rest of the video. So no, people aren't mad at you because no one's mad at you because you don't software dev anymore or whatever. They're probably mad because you say stuff like that. Just saying. I mean, that's my thoughts on that.
Anyways, yeah, that's engineering elitism in a nutshell. If you want to see more skits, more content, I have this idea for corporate stereotypes or developer stereotypes. I think that'd be fun. If you enjoy,
Yes, please more skits. The sarcastic stuff at the beginning was great. I loved it. And, yeah, that was funny.
Maybe hit thumbs up. If you didn't, double smash thumbs down. Let me know you hated it. Leave a comment and let me know what you think about engineering, elitism, and all this garbage about how people idolize these things. If you want to work there, that's great. Again, if you want to work there.
Okay, what? If you want to work there, that's great. But it also means you gave up on in life. So you can't win with this sort of attitude. That's part of the problem here. I see you might be in a negative cycle. We all are there sometimes. I've been there. Hope you can find some closure or whatever it may be. Why do I always get phone calls when I'm recording? Ugh. All right, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sure the rest is just an outro roll. Oh, let's watch it.
Great, fantastic. Go work there, but don't condemn the people that don't just because they.
Okay, I'm still annoyed that at this video.
Any less than you. If you're interested, there's some links down there in the description to support the channel. And I guess that's it. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. I am ethically and organically sourced. It's too real. This UI UX artsy types, dude, for real. This is what it's like. This is what they all have their little whiteboard with their creativity and their little doodles on it, and they're always like, love.
It's funny. I haven't actually seen anyone quite like that, but that's pretty funny.
This is Team Chai. We also have Team Matcha.
Okay. Goodbye.